Welcome to the Explainer. All right, let's just dive right into this. Today, we're talking about something you literally use every single time you open your mouth, send a text message, or even just, think a thought. We are going to master nouns. But listen, we aren't going to treat this like some dry, boring grammar rule you just have to memorize for a test. No way. We're going to look at nouns for what they truly are. These foundational, almost magical building blocks that we use to name, organize, and completely shape our entire reality. By the time we're done here, you are going to see the sentences you use every single day in a completely new light.
So here's our roadmap for today's journey. We'll start with 1, the naming of everything, move into 2, the 8 elements, explore 3, morphing and multiplying, see 4, nouns in action, and finally we'll wrap up with 5, the grand test.
Let's kick things off with section 1, the naming of everything. So what actually is a noun? Well, it's the name of a person, a place, a thing, an animal, an idea, a quality, or an emotion. It basically covers the entirety of the human experience. On one hand, you've got the highly tangible stuff you can physically interact with, like a teacher, a lion, a mobile phone, or the city of Mysore. But it's also the profound, invisible stuff that literally drives human history, things like freedom, justice, happiness, and anger. Basically, if a concept exists in our world, a noun is the anchor we use to bring it into our language. And this brilliantly illustrates why these words matter so much in our daily lives. Just think about the sentence, Ravi plays cricket. Every complete sentence usually needs a noun, or, its cousin, a pronoun, just to function. In this example, our nouns are the anchors. Ravi is the person actually performing the action, and cricket is the thing he's playing. The verb plays is really just the bridge connecting our two nouns together. If we didn't have nouns, our language would just be this chaotic soup of actions with nobody doing them and nothing receiving them. Moving right along to section 2, the 8 elements. The entire English noun universe can be neatly classified into 8 distinct elements: proper, common, collective, abstract, concrete, countable, uncountable, and compound. These 8 classes bring perfect order to our language. Let's break them down one by one and see how they contrast with each other. First up, let's do a rapid contrast between common and proper nouns. A common noun is just a general, non-specific name. Think of city, dog, or teacher, right? Anyone can be a teacher, any place can be a city. But when a common noun evolves into a highly specific, one-of-a-kind entity, it becomes a proper noun. So city becomes Bangalore, person becomes Swami Vivekananda or Mahatma Gandhi. And remember, as a native rule, proper nouns always demand a capital letter. Next, we've got collective nouns. I actually love these because they're just so wonderfully efficient. A collective noun refers to a group of people, animals, or things, but we treat them as a single unified block. Like, instead of listing out 20 individual players, we just say, the team won the match. We magically group individuals into one singular word, whether it's a family, a herd of elephants, a flock of birds, or a bunch of keys. It's basically many individual things functioning natively as one. Okay, now let's contrast concrete against abstract nouns. Concrete nouns belong strictly to our physical, sensory world. If you can see it, hear it, touch it, taste it, or smell it, boom, it's concrete. An apple you can taste, a river you can see, even music you can hear. But abstract nouns, they are entirely invisible. They name things you absolutely cannot see or touch, but you can feel them, think about them, or deeply experience them. These are your heavy hitters: honesty, freedom, bravery, love. You obviously can't put democracy in a cardboard box, but it is very much a real thing, anchored by an abstract noun. Next up, countable versus uncountable nouns. This one is super practical. If you can ask how many and give a specific number, it's countable. 3 books, 5 apples, 20 cars. Simple enough, right? But uncountable nouns are things like liquids, materials, and broad ideas that we simply cannot count individually. You can't say, I have 3 informations, or please give me 5 milks. You just say water, knowledge, money, sugar. And there's a crucial rule here. Because they're uncountable, you use much instead of many. It is always much water, literally never many waters. And rounding out our 8 elements, we have compound nouns. This is where our foundational building blocks literally snap together to create completely new concepts. And they do this in 3 different formats: mashing into one single word, like toothbrush or classroom, linking up with hyphens, like mother-in-law, or just staying as separate words that function as a single meaning, like bus stop or police station. All right, that brings us to section 3, morphing and multiplying. First, let's talk about the four genders of nouns. We've got masculine nouns like king or lion, and feminine nouns like queen or lioness. But the English language also relies super heavily on the common gender. Look at words like teacher, student, or doctor. Those apply to anyone regardless of whether they're male or female. And finally, we have the neuter gender for inanimate objects that don't have a biological sex at all. Think of a table, a pen, or a computer. Next up, how do nouns multiply? Like going from singular to plural. There's actually a really logical step-by-step progression to these rules. Step 1 is the easiest. Most of the time, just add an S. Book becomes books. But step 2, if the word sounds awkward with just an S, we add ES, like buses or churches. Step 3, if it ends in a Y, we often swap it to IES, so city becomes cities. And step 4, words ending in F or FE often change to VES, transforming a leaf into leaves. But wait, because, English wouldn't be English without a massive curveball. There are some ancient words that completely ignore all the rules we just went over. These are our irregular plurals. You don't just tack an S onto these, they transform in totally unique ways. One man becomes two men. A child becomes children. One mouse becomes mice. And an ox becomes oxen. There's absolutely no logical trick here. You just kind of have to know them. Moving on to section 4, nouns in action. Nouns are seriously the hardest working words in grammar. They take on 5 distinct functional roles. Number 1, the subject. This is the star of the sentence performing the action, like Ravi in Ravi Studies. Number 2, the direct object. This noun receives the action. She bought a laptop. The laptop is what was bought. Number 3, the indirect object. This one receives the direct object. So in she gave Rahul a gift, Rahul is the indirect object receiving that gift. Number 4, object of a preposition, like on the table. The table anchors the spatial preposition on. And number 5, subject complement. This just renames the subject entirely, like Ravi is a doctor. Doctor perfectly mirrors Ravi. And finally, that brings us to section 5, the grand test. It's time to play grammatical detective. Let's see if we can apply what we've covered today. Take this sentence. Mahatma Gandhi inspired millions. Think about the rules. What type of noun is Mahatma Gandhi? We've covered today. Take the sentence. Mahatma Gandhi inspired millions. Think about the rules. What type of noun is Mahatma Gandhi? Did you get it? It is absolutely a proper noun, a specific unique name completely given away by those capital letters. Let's try another one. A team won the championship. What type of noun is the word team? Look really closely at the function of that word. It's a collective noun. Because a team represents a group of individual people acting together as one single unified unit to go out and win that championship. All right, one last test for you. Please give me some milk. What kind of noun is milk? Apply the counting rule we talked about here. Can you count it? Nope, you cannot. Therefore, it perfectly represents an uncountable noun. It's a liquid, we can't easily count individual pieces of it, so we ask for some milk, definitely not 5 milks. Fantastic job navigating the noun universe with me today. Here is our complete framework, all synthesized in one place, mapping everything from specific proper nouns like India, all the way down to compound nouns like bus stop. Now, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one brilliant little insight. Nouns don't just live in one single box. They are massive multitaskers. They can actually belong to multiple categories at the exact same time. The word India is a proper noun because it's specific, sure, but it's also a concrete noun because it's a physical place. Books is a common noun, but it is also simultaneously a countable noun. See? The categories overlap beautifully. So, you now have the lens to see the hidden architecture of literally everything you read and say. I'm going to leave you with this question to ponder today. What unseen abstract nouns, things like freedom, ambition, or curiosity, and what physical, concrete nouns are shaping your reality right at this very moment? Think about it the next time you construct a sentence. Thanks so much for watching this explainer, and keep exploring the amazing building blocks of our language.